Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 1 previews and analysis. This video is for the game between the St. Louis Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. This game will be played at the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis, and you have two teams starting the season off with a division matchup right off the bat here. Two teams that come into this season looking to improve from last year. I think they sit in the most top-heavy division, or maybe even the best division overall in football. When you talk about being in a division with the Seahawks and the 49ers, maybe two of the best three teams in football. So, when these two teams play each other, both are thinking, man, we need to get a win here. And they start off the season this way. You had the Cardinals go through some changes in the offseason. They finally get a quarterback who's the least capable, right? I mean, Carson Palmer, if nothing else, can sling the ball around. We'll see. A big question mark for me. Then I have Bruce Arians in the fold, obviously, as the head coach. Both of these guys, a little bit older, a little bit on the back ends of their career. We'll see if they can, sum up, a magical season here in the desert, if you will. But, more realistically, you have to really look at that offensive line. Did they get that much better, in the offseason? We'll see. They addressed the position in the draft, obviously, with Jonathan Cooper. Was that enough? Did they bring in enough guys to stabilize that offensive line to give Carson Palmer time to throw? If there's anything we've seen in Carson Palmer's career is if you give him time to throw, again, like I said, he can sling the ball around. He has obviously a great receiver in Larry Fitzgerald. I think an emerging guy in a Michael Floyd. They have Rashard Mendenhall coming off an injury and Ryan Williams in the backfield. We'll see. Again, those guys' production, I think, really hinges on that offensive line. Is Arians either able to develop an offense where Palmer gets rid of the ball a little bit quicker if those guys can't hold up on the front of the line? I mean, you look at when he had Roethlisberger, when he had Andrew Luck last year, those offenses were very much geared to throwing the ball down the field, which takes time to develop a lot of times. And Palmer's not going to be able to get out of the way. He's not a mobile quarterback. So how does that line hold up is a big question mark for me. Their defense actually wasn't too bad last year. Darrell Washington, obviously being suspended for 4 games, is not going to help this defense. I think always this defense ends up being a little bit better than you think. They have a lot of off-the-radar, pretty good players out there in Arizona. We'll see how they are able to neutralize that Rams offense, which I don't think is great by any means. I mean, you have the Rams coming into this year maybe with a little bit more expectations because they did do very, very well in the division last year. Their divisional record was actually very good. I believe they were 4-1-1 last year in the division. 4-2 in the division last year. And we'll see how they come out in the second year under Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher, obviously known for hard-nosed teams that play hard. This team happens to be exceptionally young as well. They were very proficient at sacking the quarterback last year, led by Chris Long and Robert Quinn on that defensive line. Are they able to get after? Are they able to get after Carson Palmer and disrupt his rhythm, which he's very much a rhythm quarterback, very much a want to throw down the field quarterback, like I said. I think they'll be able to get to Carson Palmer early and often in this game, playing at home with the crowd behind them on the turf. I think that's going to be a big deal in this game. I'm not a huge believer in Sam Bradford, but I like bringing in Tavon Austin. I like bringing in Jared Cook. Austin's a playmaker, first and foremost. Make no bones about it. The guy's a playmaker. Look for him to have the ball in his hands. Look for him to do something when he's got the ball in his hands. He's sort of similar to Patrick Peterson, and they hope Tyrann Mathieu as well for the Cardinals. The guy you just want to make sure you develop schemes to get the ball in his hands. I think Brian Schottenheimer will do that. Jared Cook, more of a pass-catching tight end to give Sam Bradford a threat there. Again, look, this is a season where Bradford's got to take that next step forward. I think that he's sort of run out of excuses there since being the #1 overall pick for the Rams. And their defense, I think, is solid. Again, I mean, I hate to keep on saying it, but their defensive line is good. They had Laurinaitis. They drafted Alec Ogletree. I think that linebacker from Georgia. I think their back end is good enough for them to be competitive. And it'd be interesting to see how Darrell Richardson performs. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry last year in a backup role to Steven Jackson. Remember, Steven Jackson had 8 straight 1,000-yard seasons for the Rams, so that he was a well thought of player in that locker room. He opts out of his contract to go to Atlanta. Their offensive line should be improved considering they brought in Jake Long this offseason as well, which I think was a serious depletion of that Miami offensive line. But hey, their loss is definitely St. Louis's gain. I like St. Louis in this particular game for the reasons I had said. I like their defensive line to get after Carson Palmer early and often. I need to see that Arizona offensive line, which I think was the worst in football last year. I need to see them perform before I can feel confident taking them against a team that is very good at rushing the quarterback like the Rams are. So I like the Rams -4.5 at home versus the Cardinals in this NFC West showdown to start the season. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm previewing every game of week 1, every game of the season. Always talking football on here, so be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for listening, and have a great day.